Hello and welcome to Superintelligence Unlocked. This is going to be the first video on this channel. This channel about unlocking your own superintelligence. Now, superintelligence, it's not just it doesn't just mean super smart, although that's what it is, but it's kind of like a different. I wouldn't even say it's not a difference of degree. It's a different category of intelligence overall. And for that reason, I believe this channel, which is kind of I wouldn't say it's about democratizing superintelligence, but it's about I guess spreading the good word, so to speak. I believe that this channel is going to be probably the most important YouTube channel in human history, probably maybe the most important media dissemination, perhaps of all time. And I think the reason will become immediately obvious as this video goes on. But yeah, I guess I'll just continue this video. It's gonna be the first video on this YouTube channel, and this video, if you're not this, this is not your first video, don't feel bad for not having watched the videos in chronological order. You don't necessarily need to. Everyone's in different, levels of their own intellectual journey and their own, in terms of obtaining super intelligence. Watch the videos as they seem necessary to you. Now, for some people, they will see these videos are made in chronological order, and I'm going to be going through them kind of, thoroughly in terms of I'm going to be talking about the most important foundational topics first, and as we go on, the topics are going to get more and more complicated, more and more granular about superintelligence, and from there, there's be more and more specificity, and that's going to be later and later videos going to be more and more specific, and so the more general videos are going to be starting us out, and so for that reason, it makes sense to go through all these videos chronologically, just so you leave no stone unturned, but it's not necessarily going to be the case that you need to. Again, this is just being facetious, not facetious, but it'll become clear what I mean as these videos go on. Again, today's video is about probably the most foundational. It's kind of like a dot read me, so to speak. Not a dot read me. You know what I mean. Today's video is just going to be the general what is superintelligence and what are the major downsides of being superintelligent. Now, again, superintelligence is not just being super smart. And it's not about really, how would I put this? It's not even about having access to resources. Now, the biggest thing with superintelligence is it's not again about having access to resources, it's not about having even access to intellectual resources. Everyone has, unlimited information at their fingertips. It's more about the attainment of goals. But really not the attainment of goals, it's more about the ability to attain goals efficiently as possible. So, for instance, imagine you had a book given to you, and this book was a 2,000-page book, and on every single page, it listed, here's what you, literally you, like as in your name, here's what you should do today. And it maps out every single hour of your day, how to best efficiently, use those hours of the day to become, and let's just say to become a dentist. Now, every single page for the next, 2,000 days, it tells you exactly what you should be doing every single day. And then on, the 2,000th day, it probably wouldn't even take that many days, but maybe like on the 1,000th page, the last page, it says, you accomplished this goal, and now you are the world's greatest dentist. You are the best dentist you could possibly be. There's no better way to become a better dentist. It takes you 1,000 days to do it. Imagine if you had that book in front of you. Imagine the power. There are people, who spend their lives and they can't become the world's greatest dentist. Imagine you just had that power in front of you to become, open that, to just have a perfectly laid out plan exactly for you that isn't even useful for other people because it's it's tailored to your own circumstances somewhat. Imagine you had this book. Imagine the power that would come with it, and imagine even you can just broadly tell people like, oh, this is you can just kind of give the broad strokes of what your plan would be to help them become dentists, whatever, blah blah blah. Now imagine you have this book in front of you. Would this make you super intelligent? It would make you perhaps a super dentist or a super dentist becomer again because you haven't even become the dentist yet. But I don't believe it would make you super intelligent. Instead, what would make you super intelligent is if you had a book that labeled not only every single occupation you could feasibly have become the greatest at, but every single task and every single human action, every single human achievement that you could conceivably want to do, and detailed it as efficiently as possible to obtain that goal at the highest caliber of activity. Becoming the world's record holder, greatest, fastest mile run ever of all time. How to obtain that exactly. All of these different things. Imagine you had a book filled with all of them, billions of pages long, perhaps. That is what superintelligence is. Now, it is not literally owning this book. This book does not exist. But it's more the ability to create that book. And once you can create that book, then you are super intelligent. Now, again, with this sort of comes, this might bring some skepticism in you. It's like why wouldn't, if the superintelligence truly exists, then perhaps there are skeptics of superintelligence. Perhaps they might say, if this truly exists, why isn't there someone who is a master in 45,000 different things because they can just do them all on their own? And the answer to that is the sort of goals you would think someone would want to achieve if they had this goal, becoming the world's greatest, the world's greatest runner and the world's greatest, chess player and the world's greatest cellist. All of these sorts of goals you would perhaps think that someone would have an interest in obtaining. They're not really what concerns people of superintelligence. Your goals now, before you become super intelligent, they're not going to be your goals they're not going to be your goals once you're super intelligent, because you're going to kind of see a whole new spectrum of goals you could possibly want to obtain. And for that reason, it's often the case that super intelligent people, they have the ability to attain a myriad of resources, a myriad of things. So obviously you can't obtain, the only thing, preventing you from obtaining, any resources is if, another super intelligent person is your enemy in obtaining it. The only reason I can't go and obtain the Mona Lisa, I don't have a step-by-step plan to obtain the Mona Lisa, is because there are other super intelligent people, blocking me who have, are trying to prevent that from happening. I'm going to get that blocking concept in later videos, but that's an important concept in terms of, how super intelligent people interact with other super intelligent people. Now, again, it's not about your ability, it's not about actually accomplishing these, becoming the first 3,000 ELO chess player. It's not actually about doing that. It's about knowing you could do that. And once you're super intelligent, you won't need validation in actually accomplishing many of your goals. And so you're just going to be content in the fact that you could accomplish them and you won't actually be doing it. And the goals you actually will go out and attain are kind of such, I couldn't even describe them to the uninitiated right now. They are just so high level, so to speak. Many of them have to do with dreams. And obviously I'm not going to go into detail here, especially because it'll go over your head, most likely, if you're not already a super intelligent, of course. But yeah, that's the kind of subject matter we're dealing with. You are just outclassed in terms of understanding it. Now let's move on to the downsides of being super intelligent. Now, again, I believe being super intelligent, it is just a whole other class of behavior. And I think, obviously, I'm going to be listing these downsides, and they might sound serious, but I believe being super intelligent is ultimately going to outweigh any of these downsides. But alas, they are still important. This is your last chance, I guess, to reconsider, maybe perhaps wanting to become super intelligent. This is your last chance to get off. So these are the concerns, I guess, that a non-super intelligent person would have with becoming super intelligent. And this list is thorough. And even if you don't believe it is thorough, trust me, I would know what is a thorough list for people, because it's like trying to create this list in your mind would probably be like trying to get a packing list for what you should bring to the Andromeda Galaxy on a spaceship. This is trust me, this is the best list you're going to be getting. Okay, the first thing, and probably the most blatantly obvious, is that interacting with non-super intelligent people is going to be rough. It is going to be grating. If you are already antisocial, it is going to be brutal. It is going to be brutal. It is going to be nauseating. It is going to be painful. Now, obviously, you will have every technique in the world to alleviate that pain, to alleviate that boredom, to overcome it. You're going to have every technique at your disposal to do that. But it's not going to be enough to truly ever completely undo it. It's going to be like every single adult non-super intelligent person you speak to is like a child. Okay? It is going to be like speaking to a child who is not charming, who is completely unaware of the fact that they are a child to you. That is going to be it, and it is going to be painful. Every single conversation. Now again, you can try and work around these interactions, but if you want to achieve your goals in the most efficient manner possible, it's going to be necessary to interact with some non-super intelligent people just to be as efficient as possible, just to understand it as quickly and effortlessly as possible. Now, luckily, obtaining your goals is not going to be at the expense of your own well-being. It's going to be for, some other higher calling, pursuit, whatever. But, if you want to, utilize your superintelligence, you're going to have to get this debuff, so to speak, of just being overwhelmed with anguish at having to speak to some non-super intelligent people. There are a handful of, I'll get to these in later videos, but there are a handful of people who it's not going to be as painful to speak to. But the vast majority is going to be rough. And that includes, close family members right now who you love to speak to, love to converse to, or even close friends. This is a sacrifice. Again, it is a sacrifice that is definitely worth making, and you kind of realize that, once you're here, it's kind of like I could never go back. But it is going to be a sacrifice nonetheless, and I understand, perhaps for the weak-willed. That was a demeaning comment, but I mean it is ultimately true. For the weak-willed, it's just not going to be. It's not going to be in the cards for them, so to speak. Now that's the first reason. Second reason, choice fatigue. I've kind of spoken this already, but you will have the entire litany of human experience will be in front of you, and you will have the ability to do any of it, and it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to decide. It's like imagine yourself in high school, deciding what you're going to do with the rest of your life, graduating. It's imagining that 1,000-fold every single day for the rest of your life until you're dead, because you can any goal you could possibly ever want to attain is still at your fingertips at any moment, and you know it. It's going to be difficult. Now, obviously, you're going to have strategies to alleviate. You're going to have ways to, get over this. You're going to have, ways to cope with this difficulty, but again, it's never going to go fully away. But, obviously it's a very nice problem to have. It's a very nice problem that I could do so much that I don't know what to do. That is a very great problem to have, and I think it's clear why it outweighs in this case. The third downside is that many forms of entertainment you enjoy now are just not going to do it for you anymore. Any game, essentially any game that is popular with non-super intelligent people is going to become trivially easy. Very, very extremely easy. You are going to get almost nothing out of it. If you could understand the rules before you're super intelligent, there is basically going to be no point. Same with basically any book, any movie, any piece of music that was not written by someone who's super intelligent. You're not going to get anything out of it. It's on a rare occasion you might find, this book, you kind of figure out, this book was created by someone who was super intelligent and I didn't even understand this and this and this and this and this about it. But it's going to be few and far between. Your favorite book now, it is, very, very likely. Your favorite movie, whatever. It's very, very likely it was not created by a super intelligent person. You're not going to get anything out of it afterwards. Now, again, that's going to feel sad, but you will discover so many new things and so many ways to understand it that it's not going to matter at the end of the day. But again, if you have, you're going to watch any movie and you're just going to be able to predict the next line of dialogue with 100% accuracy every single time. You are literally going to have understand a roadmap. You're going to watch 3 minutes of a movie and have a perfect roadmap of exactly what's going to happen in every single preceding scene. It's going to be pointless to even finish movies oftentimes. You're maybe going to prove it yourself once or twice. Watch a movie fully one or two times. Or watch a full movie as, predict the entire movie in the first 2 minutes and then, just see if it happens, and you're going to be correct every single time, essentially. But yeah, it's going to be painful. It's going to be, if you have a favorite movie right now, you're going to understand it inside and out to the point where it just seems like a children's toy you could have constructed yourself. Again, don't let that bring you down because you're gonna understand the super intelligent movies. they're still going to give you something. They're going to be on a, you know, a level of fulfillment that you didn't even think was possible. But again, you know, the movies and the books and the music you're listening to now are going to just seem trivial. You're going to seem pointless. And that might be too much for some people to swallow. And finally, the fourth reason is you will lose, the fourth and final reason I should clarify, you will lose large segments of empathy for other people. Now that might sound mean, that might sound bad. And I guess, you know, I guess in a sense it is. I guess in a, you know, the prototypical schemes of morality, that would be wrong. But it's just going to be, once you know how to become super intelligent, and once you have kind of ascended to this level, any sort of worry, any sort of failure, any sort of wrongdoing that someone who is not super intelligent is going to undergo is going to just seem pointless. It is going to be just like if you were super intelligent, this would not be happening to you. If you were super intelligent, you wouldn't have gotten this car crash. If you were super intelligent, you wouldn't have lost your job. If you were super intelligent, blah, 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 blah. You were not going to be able to empathize with any of these failures anymore. It's like basically every single person who is not super intelligent, when they're having struggles, it is going to be like seeing a worm on a train track about to be ran over. You know, the train is coming and the worm has no idea that the train is coming and about to crush them, and they could easily, you know, just roll over and get off the train track, but they don't even realize they need to get off. That is like every single person who you're going to encounter who has struggles, who you would normally empathize with. It is literally, it's the crazy part is, you know, as with the worm, like, you know, the worm is, you see the worm and, you know, you could yourself move the worm off the train track. It would be trivially easy for you to do it, but you're just not going to feel obviously with the worm, you don't feel the need to do it. It's like, I honestly just don't care. I don't want to get my hand messy with the worm or whatever. And it's going to kind of feel like that with intervening with other people too, which, you know, might make you sound heartless now, but trust me, it'll make sense once you're super intelligent. And I should clarify, I'm not necessarily meaning that the non-super intelligent are on the level to worms you are now, but in terms of degree, they are, yes, going to be much significantly lower. That is an allegory. I won't need to explain that. Obviously, the super intelligent people understood what I meant, but that was an allegory. And in terms of degrees, it is not. They are not on that lower of a level, but it is a significant shift. Again, so anyways, that's going to conclude this video. I would say I hope you enjoyed. I don't really care, but that is going to wrap up the video. Make sure to watch more of them.